That is a person. I'm not even joking.
Where the hell did you find that thing? Man, don't you bring home rats?
Go on! Hey! Hey! You're right, that's it. Dude.
What the is... I'm not going near that thing.
Hey!
A man was in his yard when his cat returned carrying something unsettling, a small, dried-up figure.
Where the hell did you find that thing? Man, don't you bring home rats?
Its thin, skeletal limbs and shriveled body appeared almost mummified. Was it simply the remains of an animal, an elaborate prank, or had the cat brought back something genuinely mysterious? In 2018, a video emerged claiming to capture the legendary Honey Island swamp monster. The footage, originally filmed by Harlan Ford, a retired air traffic controller, deep within the Louisiana bayou, reignited local tales. Residents described the creature as over 7 feet tall, covered in dark gray hair and reeking of decay. It's strange. Webbed footprints resemble those of an alligator, yet are shaped like a man's. Then, as always, it disappears into the dense swamp mist, leaving only fear and speculation behind. A man was hiking in the Appalachian region when he suddenly heard something unusual. A loud, scratchy hissing noise reverberated through the forest, lasting several seconds and carrying a heavy, unsettling tone. Despite the disturbance, the footage showed no visible source. Some speculate it was a large animal, like a bear or mountain lion, while others link it to the many mysterious legends of the Appalachian wilderness. The creature looks like a frog, but can stand on 2 legs, moving in a bird-like way, which makes it hard to identify at first. After investigating and checking comments on the original post, it was found to closely resemble the mythical Morlock from the Warcraft series. Morlocks are fictional amphibious creatures with savage behavior, primitive societies, broad bodies, large mouths with sharp fangs, and slimy skin. They live in coastal areas and vary in color. Some look like frogs or fish, while others resemble red-eyed tree frogs, like the one seen here. In the game, Morlocks are hostile, often attacking travelers and settlements in groups, and are known for their distinctive gurgling sounds. How such a fictional creature could appear in real life is unknown. It could be a secret military creation, or the clip might just be CGI. Without enough evidence, nothing can be ruled out. Despite its strange appearance, viewers are encouraged to share their thoughts in the comments. One snowy night, a young woman was walking alone through a reservation. The streets were silent and deserted, until suddenly they weren't. A piercing scream shattered the silence. She spun around, pointing her camera in every direction, but saw nothing. She was utterly alone. To this day, no one knows what caused it. While exploring the jungle, someone captured this astonishing video. A massive snake was seen climbing a dirt wall and vanishing into the grass. Could it be the man-eating titan, or the legendary boa from local stories, or simply another enormous snake? It's hard to say for certain, but one thing is clear: creatures of this size are rarely encountered. A whitewater rafting group had stopped along the upper Colorado River for a lunch break. While the crew relaxed on the shore, someone spotted something unusual across the river.
videotaping right now. He's done.
About 500 yards away, a tall, dark figure moved along the tree line, too upright and large to be a normal animal. Logan Kirk, the guide, confirmed it wasn't anyone from their group. Some suggested it might be a bear, but its posture and slow stride didn't match. At first, they were reluctant to believe it, but no better explanation fit. It closely resembled Bigfoot. One day, while hiking to his campground, a camper came across something terrifying. He later uploaded a video with almost no explanation. Take a look. It resembled an adult with a long nose and wide mouth, but the rest of its body was smooth, hairless, and disturbingly baby-like. Long fingers hung from its hands, while the lower half looked monstrous, as if stitched together from human and animal parts. Could it have been a creepy prop? Probably, but who left it in the woods? And why? And where would anyone even get something like this? Strange waves have been appearing in Vancouver, Canada, and locals say they're not normal. People think something big is moving underwater, even though no one has actually seen it. One commenter said, "This has been happening for generations. The big question is, what could be making the waves and why it's there?" Some guess it might be a mythical creature like Nessie, while others think it could just be whales, since there are many in the area. Even so, locals still believe it's something different. While fishing in the waters of British Columbia, Canada, these fishermen came across something unusual. A mysterious sea creature was spotted drifting in the water, sparking curiosity and speculation. Similar sightings have been reported before, leading to various theories about what it might be. Some witnesses describe it as a long, serpent-like creature, while others think it could be a misidentified sturgeon or whale. So, what exactly did these men encounter that day? Two hikers ventured deep into the San Gabriel Mountains for a quiet camping trip. After pitching their tents in a secluded spot, they set out to explore the area. As they wandered further, an unsettling feeling crept over them, as if an unseen creature was watching. Firm believers in the Sasquatch legend, they remained on high alert.
That's it, bro. You're right, that's it.
Dude, what the?
Some rocks just came flying down this hillside right here. I'm gonna do a whistle and see if we hear anything.
You hear it? No, did you hear it?
Yeah. Back it up a little bit.
That was loud.
Then, without warning, rocks began raining down from the hillside above. They couldn't see anyone, but it felt unmistakably like a warning. A lone hiker ventured deep into the wilderness, immersed in the stillness and unaware of how much time had passed. After hours of wandering, he arrived at a secluded spot surrounded by dense pine trees. Then, he heard it, heavy movement, something large crashing through the brush nearby. Expecting a wild animal, he pulled out his phone to record. But what he captured instead was terrifying. It was clearly something far from ordinary. In the fall of 2020, Lauren started experiencing unusual occurrences around her home, events she couldn't explain.
So I have a bunch of trees in my backyard, but there's this one that doesn't look like the other trees. So I'm gonna go check that one out because it has pretty red leaves or flowers next to it, and it's interesting. Here's the tree. But it's very pretty. And there's these weird things that are in it. I don't know what that's for. And it has crazy holes that I like. But here's the pretty red things. Flowers. No, they're leaves. Those are leaves. Oh. I like you. What is that?
Then, for almost a year, nothing occurred until 2021, when something disturbing emerged.
So I'm walking around the fence line of my property, and I've noticed that someone or something has put something on pretty much all of my fence posts. I don't know if someone's like me or that this is something else, but like it's literally all like bones or like a creepy doll. I don't know what.
The fence around her house was covered with strange objects arranged in a distinct pattern. It was unclear whether a person or something else was responsible. A few days later, more activity started. When she went to investigate, no one was there. But as she returned inside, something occurred.
Luna, come on.
Later that day, her security camera recorded her hair being suddenly pulled upward. A few nights afterward, while she was talking with her boyfriend, more unsettling events took place.
Dude, door just closed.
Is that what the slam sound was?
Yes, and it's locked. I just got locked out of my house.
Still in there?
Yes, nobody's here.
That's kind of scary. Where's the door?
Luna! Luna's inside by herself. I don't even see her in there.
Well,
Look. Hang on.
Don't anything rash. Lady? Hello? Oh, she's nudged us.
Then came silence, nothing for 2 months, until one night, someone began knocking on her window.
Sit. Come here. Can't see.
Terrified, she looked out into her backyard, but no one was there. Whatever was causing these events remains a mystery. After that night, Lauren stopped posting altogether. While camping deep in the woods, a man was suddenly awakened in the middle of the night by eerie sounds coming from the forest.
They're everywhere.
He soon realizes that whatever is producing the sounds is surrounding him from all sides, leaving him paralyzed with fear in the dark wilderness. Could anyone remain calm if the forest itself seemed alive with unexplained sounds? A man was backpacking alone through a remote stretch of wilderness, filming his journey, when he suddenly heard something unusual.
Dude, I'm tripping out. Wild. I don't see like
A loud, unidentifiable sound echoed through the trees. He was completely alone. No signs of wildlife anywhere. Was it a predator nearby, or something hidden in the shadows watching him? A man went camping in the woods and recorded his hike to the campsite, but the forest's quiet was soon interrupted. Take a look.
Pai está fazendo uma trilha às 3 da manhã, subindo a montanha.
The sound was sharp and high-pitched, almost like a child crying. When the video was shared, many suggested it might be a skinwalker, a legendary creature known for mimicking human voices, while others thought it could be a bobcat. The noise continued through the night, but by sunrise, the forest had fallen silent again. A group of women was driving near a quiet park when they decided it was time to leave. But as they neared the exit, something unusual caught their attention.
Wait, what the is that? Wait.
A strange figure suddenly darted out from behind a tree and ran straight toward them. Panicking, they slammed on the gas and sped away, leaving the man behind. But questions lingered. Who was he, and what might have happened if they hadn't driven off? Was he truly dangerous? While boating, someone spotted something unusual in the water. A large tail fin, likely from a fish or other creature, briefly emerged, wiggled in the air, and then vanished beneath the surface. They captured it on video, but the creature remains a mystery, as the fin shows few identifiable features. Some speculate it could be a mermaid, but a closer look reveals the movement feels unnatural and doesn't match any known sea creature. Some tech enthusiasts suggest it might be AI generated. What do you think? While camping, a man heard rustling outside his tent. Curious, he stepped out to investigate and noticed movement. He grabbed his camera and recorded it. It was difficult to tell whether it was an animal or something unknown, but it was terrifying. All he could do was retreat to his tent, pray, and wait quietly until it left. He never shared what happened for the rest of the night. Many videos show unseen spirits moving or breaking objects, but this footage is different. It appears to show a ghost getting into bed with someone. The video was recorded by a woman who was alone in her room one night. As she lay on one side of the bed scrolling through her phone, the blanket on the empty side began to move, as if someone were getting in. At first, she thought it was her imagination, but when the blanket shifted and settled, panic took over, and she ran out of the room. The most disturbing part comes after. If you look closely, a clear head-shaped dent forms on the pillow beside her, as if something invisible had just lain down. There's no official update on the case, but some believe it could be the spirit of a former resident, while others think the entity was trying to get uncomfortably close. Either way, it's undeniably creepy. While exploring deep in the forest, an adventurer discovered a strange jar hidden among the gnarled roots of a huge tree. Many cultures have tales of dark entities sealed in containers to restrain their power. Opening it could release something perilous. The find seemed more like a caution than a prize, and he wisely chose not to open it. In 1996, a mysterious video emerged capturing a strange forest encounter. Shot with an old film aesthetic, it shows someone exploring the woods and coming across a bizarre creature resembling a giant ant without extra limbs. Many speculate that this unsettling figure might be an alien. The story linked to the video claims that in January 1996, a UFO reportedly crashed in a Southeast Asian town. A group of friends allegedly discovered one of the aliens, prompting military involvement. According to the account, the military captured the aliens, but one soldier was killed by one of them. The captured aliens reportedly died as well, and their bodies were taken to an undisclosed location. This raises numerous questions. Could the footage be real? And if so, why has the story only surfaced so many years later? A couple was hiking through the woods at night when they heard twigs snapping and leaves rustling, sounds that initially seemed like ordinary forest noises. Soon, however, they got the unsettling feeling of being followed through the dense undergrowth. They only caught fleeting glimpses of movement, too large and purposeful to be caused by a small animal.
You see it? Mm-hmm. Oh wait, that's not a deer. What the devil is that? That's a predator. Eyes are facing forward.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, draw your weapon. I don't like to look at that. I see you. Those eyes are wide too. Look at that. Those are big eyes. Mm-hmm. Hello. You cocked? Oh. Alright, let's go.
The couple began to wonder whether the presence was a Sasquatch or merely another forest animal. While exploring the woods, someone came across a strange triangular structure among the trees, with a silhouette of something sitting inside. The footage is shaky, making details hard to discern, and the dim light filtering through the canopy adds an eerie, mysterious feel. Despite the unclear visuals, the center believes the footage shows Bigfoot sitting calmly inside the structure. The shelter appears makeshift, possibly built by an intelligent being, or maybe even Bigfoot itself. Alternatively, the silhouette could be a trick of the light or a more ordinary animal, like a bear. What do you think it could be? On July 3rd, 2025, two different witnesses captured footage of something truly bizarre in the skies above California.
Look at that streak across the sky, y'all. 2:48 in the morning. What the f***? This is a long streak across the sky here at 2:48 a.m.
Many have begun referring to it as the Rainbow Bridge. In both videos, a radiant arc of multicolored light can be seen stretching high across the sky. What makes it even more mysterious is that the footage was captured from two separate locations. So far, there's been no official explanation. Was it a rare atmospheric phenomenon or something else entirely? The clip shows what some might see as a reptile or dinosaur-like creature, while locals in the Scottish Highlands may believe it's the Loch Ness Monster. This legendary creature, described as serpent or dragon-like, is said to live in the deep waters of Loch Ness. Sightings and folklore date back centuries, with the first recorded account in 565 AD by missionary Saint Columba. Witnesses often describe it as having a long, serpentine body, a large head, and sometimes humps above the water. Some viewers of the clip doubt its authenticity, noting that the creature's fins don't disturb the water, making it look almost unreal, possibly CGI. The loch has had other sightings, including a famous 1933 report that drew media attention and led to further accounts, photos, and alleged footage. Scientific investigations using sonar, underwater photography, and DNA analysis have mostly been inconclusive, with some sightings attributed to natural phenomena or misidentifications. Despite this, the Loch Ness Monster remains a captivating and unsolved mystery. While camping in the Appalachian Mountains, a camper was startled awake by an alarming sight. Fear gripped them briefly, only to realize it was a spider on the outside of the tent. Even so, it was an eerie way to begin the day. One calm night in Williamsburg, Virginia, Robert Earl White was sitting on his porch when he heard loud, deliberate footsteps echoing from the woods. It wasn't the usual sound of the forest.
See a skinwalker. Alright, no lie. I'm on my back porch. I heard someone stomping in the woods. Something huge.
He turned toward the trees and spotted a pair of glowing eyes staring back at him. When he recorded the scene on his phone and zoomed in, a figure began to take shape. It looked almost human, but its skin was ghostly pale, and its stillness felt unnatural, as if it didn't belong to this world. Many viewers later remarked that it bore an uncanny resemblance to a skinwalker. Check out this stunning waterfall in the clip. Truly beautiful. This footage reportedly comes from Argentina, near the Ventero Negro viewpoint, about 400 meters from Hosteria de Pampalinda. At first glance, the focus is on the waterfall, but if you pay attention, a small being can be seen running across the shot. Most people in the clip, except the person filming, didn't notice it. The big question is, what is it and why is it moving like that? The community is divided. Some think it's a den, while others believe it's a goblin. While goblins are often imagined as rounder, this figure appears slender, so it doesn't quite match that expectation. Ultimately, it's unclear what the creature is. What do you think it might be? While hiking up Mount Shasta, a traveler struck up a casual chat with a local guide and jokingly asked if he'd ever seen Bigfoot, but the tone quickly shifted. Years earlier, the guide had snapped a photo of a friend near the summit, only to later notice something unsettling in the background. A figure with glowing eyes, half hidden among the trees. He admitted he often feels like he's being watched up there. So, was it just a wild animal, or had he captured something far more mysterious? A helicopter flying over the ocean spotted something unusual. Two parallel streaks moving swiftly across the water. At first, it looked like a giant serpent, but the straight, unwavering motion didn't match a typical slithering pattern. Could it be evidence of colossal sea creatures, or something else entirely? According to Julius, the in-house science expert, the straight-line movement suggests it might not be a living creature, but rather a large underwater object or natural phenomenon. What's your take on it? One night in the Russian wilderness, a camper heard unusual sounds and looked outside, seeing something disturbing. He grabbed his camera and started recording. Glowing eyes stared back at him, and as he turned, another set emerged from the shadows. Some believe it was a wild animal, while others thought it appeared unusually tall, making it all the more terrifying. The true nature of the encounter and its outcome remain unknown. On December 11, 2016, two friends were exploring a secluded area of the forest when they encountered something truly frightening.
I want to get a good view of it. Dude, somebody was digging a grave out here. Oh, God.
Hidden among the pine trees, they came across a grave dug into the ground. Its purpose and the identity of the person who dug it remain a mystery. This video was recorded by a woman who noticed that whenever she went into the woods, something or someone seemed to follow her from a distance. She couldn't see who or what it was, but always felt its presence. Eventually, she began filming her outings and captured a mysterious figure on camera. After posting the footage online for opinions, viewers were divided. Some believed it was a demonic entity, possibly angered after she disturbed its territory. Others thought it was something more human and more dangerous, a stalker following her, waiting for the right moment to strike. Given recent events, many urged her to involve someone for help in tracking the figure. Those convinced it's a spirit, however, argued that any search would be futile, as nothing or no one would be found. A British tourist was walking on a frozen lake in Finland when he noticed a huge handprint in the ice. It wasn't just bigger than his hand, it was bigger than his foot. In Finnish folklore, giants are said to have formed the land, making the lakes and mountains. Locals who know these old stories couldn't help but see the similarity. One winter night, after a heavy snowstorm, a man went for a walk with his dogs, but the silence was abruptly interrupted.
Hey! Hey!
Unsure whether wolves were nearby, he recorded the sounds and later shared them online. Viewers proposed eerie explanations. Some suggested hellhounds, others La Llorona, and a few even mentioned a Wendigo. Whatever it was, it sounded massive. A man reviewed his home security footage after getting motion alerts late at night. At first, everything seemed normal. The yard was quiet and empty, but when he rewound the clip and examined it closely, he saw something unexpected.
The video camera was recording and no one was out back. Took a look, no one was out back. Check this out. Watch in between the square. Mainly watch this spot right here. You can see a shadow up here. Boom.
And no one's there.
And then you see this little orb right here.
And then you
watch. Babe. Look at that. No one's out back.
It just sits there too.
It does. It just sits right there.
And you can see the whole shadow, like a person.
That's nuts. I don't know how long it sits
Goes
there
away.
for. The orb goes away. Comes back. Now watch. The person's gonna disappear.
It's like they're just boom.
Boom, gone.
A dark, shadowy figure appeared. Yet when he went outside to check, there were no footprints, no evidence of anyone having been there. So who or what had his camera captured that night? YouTuber Black Mass Paranormal embarked on a solo journey through the Appalachian Mountains and soon began noticing signs that he might not be alone.
That's the size of a little kid's shoe. That is a pretty small footprint, but it does look to be kind of barefoot. You have a toe here, and a big toe here. And that is heading up in this direction. I just got that feeling of not being alone.
In the rugged terrain, the footprint he discovered seemed unusual, prompting questions about who or what could have made it. As he continued upward, another threat emerged.
We gotta get across this ledge here. See what I mean? This isn't the most... Holy... That's a rattlesnake. God damn. Whoa. Hi. Gotta be careful here. Alright, buddy. So, see, what's important is you stay calm.
A rattlesnake blocked his path, forcing him to back away quickly and escape unharmed. Yet the mystery lingered. Was the footprint left by a lost hiker, a wild wanderer, or something linked to the Bigfoot legends long associated with these mountains? Nomad Unknown, a solo van lifer and YouTuber, set out to enjoy a final peaceful day at a remote forest campsite. The morning was idyllic, clear skies, birdsong, blooming wildflowers, and a few quiet moments of self-care. But as she wandered along a nearby trail, the calm began to change.
There's a bear. I can't tell if it's a black bear or grizzly. It's cinnamon in color. It's a grizzly. All right. It's not interested in me. but I'm turning around and my bear spray out. Can you see it? Don't worry, my spray is out and ready. Oh my god. I think there's more than one. There's another one right there. It's scanning for any others, but I heard it. I heard them give their little snorts because they're digging, and that's another sign. They are grizzlies, because grizzlies, they dig. That's a cub. That's a cub.
In the distance, she noticed a bear with a cub following closely behind.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm just backing away. Once I get further down, I'll feel more comfortable turning and walking normally, but I'm still a little bit too close for comfort on that one. I mean, I'm talking. They might know I'm here, but I just don't want to be perceived as a threat to baby.
Remaining calm, she slowly backed away, careful not to alarm them. Fortunately, the bear showed no interest, and she was able to walk away unharmed. Willie was camping by himself when the stillness was interrupted. He saw a man standing among the trees near his tent. The figure appeared for a brief moment, said nothing, and then slipped back into the woods. No one else was camping nearby, and Willie hadn't seen a single person on the surrounding trail. The stranger hadn't greeted him or behaved like another camper. Something about it felt off. Uneasy, Willie decided to pack up and leave soon after. One night, a man spotted a pair of eerie, glowing eyes moving around his property. Grabbing his gun, he stepped outside, determined to confront whatever was out there.
All right, whatever you are, you need to leave. Stay out of this place. This is our home. This is our home. You need to leave.
The instant he pulled the trigger, the creature darted off into the darkness. What made the encounter truly unsettling was the height of the eyes, nearly 7 feet off the ground. The man was convinced it wasn't human or even an ordinary animal. A Reddit user was hiking in Albemarle County when he came across something terrifying. At first, he believed it was an Appalachian cobra, notorious for its deadly bite. However, a commenter later clarified that it was actually an eastern hognose snake. Harmless, this species is known for its theatrical defense tactics, flattening its neck, hissing, or even feigning death to ward off predators, far less frightening than it initially appeared. Jennifer and her friend were at a party on the edge of a small town in Mexico. After midnight, curiosity got the best of them, and they decided to test a local legend, the tale of a ghostly woman in white who roams the roads at night, crying. As the party began to die down, nearby dogs suddenly started barking, loud and uneasy.
Plebes, acabó la función. Andan los perros ladre y ladre acá afuera porque dicen que después de las 12 se aparece una señora que no sé qué, de blanco, que con cadenas. Pero nosotros ahorita vimos a los perros y empezamos a oír ruidos. Y aquí andamos grabando. Ay, no, ese es un perro. No, yo no me quiero ir más lejos, me da miedo.
As they laughed about the legend, Jennifer noticed the dogs growing even more restless, their eyes fixed on the darkness. That's when they saw it.
Mira, 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 mira. No mames. No.
Out of nowhere, a pale figure dressed in white appeared. In the distance, they could hear the faint sound of crying. Could it really have been her? Hikers in the Appalachians often whisper about mysterious staircases that appear alone in the woods, pristine, untouched, and completely out of place. A TikToker recently shared one such story.
This comment right here, and I started doing a little more research, and what I found is astounding. There have been so many reported sightings of these abandoned staircases in the Appalachia woods, and it's a known rule that you do not go up these stairs. The story I'm about to tell you is chilling. This man had been hiking the Appalachia Trail for a few weeks when he came across this abandoned staircase in the woods. He said it was super out of place and that the stairs actually were like very clean, even though there was like a lot of leaves and stuff that had fallen. The staircase was like immaculate. Intrigue got the best of him, so he decided he would go up and just check it out and see where it led to. But he said as soon as he got to the top, everything just got eerily quiet. He looked around for a little bit at the top of the stairs. It was nothing too interesting, so then he just turned around and went. When he got to the bottom of the stairs, the trail was gone. He wandered around trying to find his trail for hours. It was starting to get dark out, and he was really nervous that he was going to be stuck out there all night. And that's when he saw this like faint glowing light through the trees. The closer he got towards it, he noticed that it was a fire, and it was a couple of other hikers that were camping out for the night. He was super relieved at first, but then something was off. He said their clothes were super out of date. They were wearing these boots that were like caked with mud. And he said that their backpacks, like instead of the normal hiking gear, like nylon backpacks, they were like these canvas totes. He said he walked up to the group and introduced himself, but they didn't say anything. They just smiled at him. He was really freaked out at this point. And he was like, I'm lost. Can you all point me back to the trail, please? And they all just slowly pointed back in the direction of the staircase. At this point, he is freaking terrified. He turns around and like hightails it out of that campsite. Eventually, he was able to find his way back down to the trail, and this is the really freaky part. Once he gets back down the trail a little ways and finds a place where he feels safe to camp out for the night, as soon as he starts unloading his bag to put up his tent, the sun starts coming up. What he said should have only been about a 2-hour experience ended up being the entire night.
Would you have the courage to climb those stairs? On March 14th, 2025, deep in Georgia's Blood Mountain wilderness, a woman set up camp alone, seeking a quiet retreat. She parked her van, got comfortable, and began working on her laptop with the curtains open, unaware that her tranquil day was about to change.
Crazy kind of happened today. I was actually sitting in my van. I am pretty deep in the Georgia woods. I'm doing something called dispersed camping out in a wildlife management area where you're allowed to park, like it's public land, certain spots in the woods, and you can find one that's open and camp there legally. So I've been out here for a couple days. I've just been all by myself out here. I'm in this area called Blood Mountain. This car parks behind me and a guy gets out. He literally walks into my campsite, like goes straight up to the creek And I noticed he has a tripod and a camera. I'm like, why is he taking photos right in my campsite? The creek goes the whole way. There's tons of waterfalls. You don't need to come right into my campground. Meanwhile, it's middle of the day, so I do not have my window coverings up. I'm actually sitting up on my bed working on my laptop. Well, then a second gentleman gets out of the car, and I call him a gentleman because he's a little bit older. Okay, like he's going to realize somebody's here because I'm obviously not sitting out. My chair is out there, my hammock is out there. My fire, as you could see, is like not even 4 feet from the door of my van, yet they're walking in between my fire ring that I have right there that has smoke coming up because I had a fire.
Suddenly, a car pulled in behind her. One man stepped out and walked directly into her campsite, taking photos by the creek near her fire pit. Then, an older man exited the vehicle. Feeling trapped, she panicked and opened the door.
See him walk up to my front window where Apollo is sitting in the front seat, and he like is looking in the window, waving at Apollo, talking to him, and I'm like, I am right here. You know, I'm right here working. He's right there in my window. It was so uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, he just saw the cat. He's going to move on. But no. Then he starts looking into my side window right here, my sliding door window. You know, there's all this wide open space. Like, were they trying to intimidate me? Because if that's the case, it was working. He comes up to the foot of my bed where my window is by my feet and is looking into the window into my van. I went into fight or flight mode. And guys, I chose fight. Why did I choose fight? And I did something I should not have done. I opened my door. Hindsight, stupidest thing ever. But I went in there like, excuse me, can I help you? No, I cannot help them. No, why did I open my door? I am not going to take on 2 grown men by myself. That's just not going to happen. But that was my instinct. I'm disappointed.
She didn't get much sleep that night, but she managed to make it through safely. A couple hiking deep in the Canadian wilderness had their peaceful walk suddenly interrupted. As they made their way through the forest, the husband stopped abruptly, grabbed the camera, and focused on something crouched in the distance among the trees. The footage showed a hairy, human-like figure, hunched and motionless. As the camera zoomed in, the image became blurry, and at that moment, the creature stood up and bolted. Was it human or something else? While driving through the Appalachian Mountains at night, a man noticed something strange, a figure standing by the trees, staring at him. Naturally, he was frightened, but for some reason, he decided to get out of his car and confront it. He approached the figure, which appeared to be a woman, and asked what she wanted. According to him, this had been happening for some time, and he was fed up. She didn't respond, though viewers of the original video claimed they heard her whisper something before he left. What do you think he encountered, and could she or it have cursed him? During an eclipse, observers saw a strange flaming orb in the sky with a dark humanoid figure standing on it. While the orb might be explained by natural phenomena like rare atmospheric effects or meteors, the figure makes the sighting difficult to explain. Its unusual appearance leaves many unsure of what to make of it. Around 11 p.m. in Kentucky, someone was sky watching from their balcony. It was a quiet night with a clear sky, until a sudden, sharp whistle broke the silence. It sounded close, maybe 20 or 30 feet away. Locals have a saying, never whistle at night and never answer if you hear one. The area was still. No people, no movement, just that eerie whistle echoing through the trees. When she turned toward the sound, she noticed something strange hiding in the bushes. Maybe it was just shadows or a trick of the eye, but something about it didn't feel right. So the question is, was it just a coincidence, or was something or someone really out there? At exactly 2:54 a.m., a Ring camera captured something the owner still can't explain. A strange light appeared in the field, shifting shape before quietly fading away into the night. At first, it might look like a bug, but compared to the insects in the footage, this light moved in a completely different way. There's also a road just off to the right, yet no cars passed, no headlights, no reflections. So, what was it? If you have any idea what they caught that night, share it in the comments. The ocean, one of the largest unexplored regions on Earth, is full of mysteries and unknown creatures. Among them, mermaids, human upper bodies with fishtails, have featured in folklore for centuries. Puerto Rico has its own mermaid legends called sirenas, passed down through generations. In this footage, a group of people fishing saw a blue glow in the water near their boat. Eventually, they noticed a human-like silhouette in the glow. While different from typical mermaid sightings, many believe it could be real, and some even suggest it might be alien. What's your take? During a family gathering, someone recorded a playful video. Later, while watching it, they spotted a pale face peering from behind a door. Nobody had noticed it during the party, and its identity or origin remains unknown, leaving the family puzzled. One night, a Reddit user was walking through the woods near their home when a strong, foul smell made them stop in their tracks. Feeling both curious and uneasy, they followed the scent just off the trail, and in a small clearing, they came across something alarming. In the middle of a roughly drawn pentagram lay a dead chicken. Around it were strange objects, arranged carefully as if part of some ritual or offering. The area looked recently disturbed, like whoever had been there had just left. Whatever was going on in those woods remains a mystery. While looking down at the ocean from a cliff, someone spotted a massive fish with prominent gills on both sides, moving gracefully like a shark. It was a basking shark, the second largest shark species after the whale shark. Despite its size, it's harmless, feeding on plankton with its mouth open and gills extended. Its rough skin can cause scratches, but it poses no direct threat. Still, seeing such a giant would make most people hesitant to get close. A man went to check on his cabins in the woods and came across a bizarre sight. A group of women stood in the open, each wearing headsets, moving in a trance-like state as if part of some ritual or under mind control. Their motions were slow and almost meditative, until they suddenly froze, locked in unnatural positions. Some lay face down on the gravel, others stood stiffly facing trees, and a few twisted on the ground, with their feet bent at impossible angles. Even if it was merely an unusual form of meditation, the scene was profoundly eerie. While hiking in the dense forests of Washington, a hiker began hearing strange, unsettling sounds, deep, drawn-out howls echoing from within the woods. The eerie, haunting noise felt unnatural. While some suggest it could be a wolf or another local animal, the hiker, Aaron, believes there's something unusual about these howls, something that doesn't seem to belong to any ordinary creature. Could it be a werewolf, a dogman, or some other cryptid lurking in the forest? One night, Instagram user ThatGirlChristina spotted something unusual at her home.
Just heard a loud crash.
She stepped outside to investigate and witnessed this.
Oh, tree.
Someone threw a tree at our house?
It went through this basket, through this table, and down there.
Rather than falling across the roof like a normal tree, the trunk stood upright, impaled through the house, and reaching into the night sky as if thrown like a massive spear. The angle seemed impossible. How could this have happened? While recording a video walking through a quiet graveyard, someone captured something unusual. As the camera slowly panned across the silent rows of headstones, a figure came into view near one of the graves, hunched over with its back to the camera. Then the video abruptly cut off. No explanation, no follow-up. Was it just someone mourning in silence, or something more mysterious? One night in the Appalachians, a home security camera recorded a chilling scene. A shadowy humanoid figure appeared, its eyes glowing in the darkness. Moments later, it vanished. The glowing eyes and sudden disappearance left the family with unsettling questions. Who or what had been captured on their camera? Could it be linked to the Bigfoot legends of these mountains? A man was camping in the mountains and took some photos of the scenery. Everything appeared normal until he later reviewed the pictures and noticed a dark figure peeking out from behind a rock. Some believe this is evidence of Bigfoot, while others argue it's merely an optical illusion. In broad daylight, a group driving along the BR-281 highway in Brazil noticed something unusual by the side of the road. They saw a dark figure slowly walking along the roadside. From a distance, it looked like someone wearing a long black cloak. Some people thought it was just a passerby, but others weren't so sure. That stretch of road is isolated and known for strange, often fatal accidents. While some blame the poor road conditions, others think there's something more mysterious going on. So, what did they really see that day? Reports of strange drone activity have been increasing across the US. While experts say drones are meant to make life easier, some sightings raise questions. In one video, a drone appears to be spraying something onto the ground. What it was spraying is unknown. Some speculate it could be a government operation targeting independent farms, while skeptics suggest it's just a pesticide or weather modification drone. Others even suggest more outlandish possibilities, like alien interference. The truth remains unclear, leaving only speculation. A Reddit user who had always dismissed the paranormal began to rethink his views after hearing years of unsettling stories from a close friend. That friend had moved into an old VIC carriage in rural South England, a place marked by cold drafts, strange sounds, and the eerie sense of being watched. When his parents began traveling more often, leaving him alone, the unease deepened. One day, while walking his dog, he took a photo that changed everything. In the image, a woman appeared, someone he claimed had been following him. Even now, the picture gives the Redditor chills, and for the first time, he started to believe his friend's stories might have been true. In 2023, a woman went deep into the woods searching for her missing nephew. He had just been discharged from the hospital and was supposed to head home, but he never made it. As she moved through the dense forest, she couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching her. Instinctively, she took out her phone and started recording. At first, everything seemed normal, but when she reviewed the footage later, she noticed something chilling. For just a split second, a figure moved between the trees. Her nephew was never found, and that brief, silent frame is all she has left. A homeowner shared some CCTV footage, saying they caught something weird at night. At first, everything seemed normal, but then a faint, glowing figure moved across the screen. The uploader thinks it might be a fae, those magical, mischievous creatures from folklore that can be tiny or human-sized. Some people in the comments suggested it's probably just a spider web reflecting the camera's light, which makes sense too. So, is it something supernatural or just a trick of the camera? Two campers were driving through a remote area in Oklahoma when they came across an old, abandoned house that had been empty for years and was rumored to be haunted. As they got closer, they witnessed something unexpected.
Go.
When they shone their flashlight on a window, a motionless figure became visible. Since the footage was posted, no additional details have been revealed, leaving the situation shrouded in mystery. Back in 1991, a science teacher captured a family fishing trip at Mono Lake in California's Eastern Sierra on a camcorder. The footage went unwatched for 17 years until the family finally reviewed it and spotted something unusual, a large figure moving in the distance. Some believe it could be Bigfoot, while others suggest it was an upright walking bear. The man who filmed the video, however, rejects the bear theory and insists it was a Bigfoot sighting. A woman recorded this creepy video after her kids kept hearing her voice calling them from another part of the house, along with strange knocking sounds. The weird part? She never called them. When she realized what was happening, they followed the sounds, which led them straight to a parked car. If you look closely at the backseat window, there's a face there, even though no one was supposed to be inside. They uploaded the clip online, hoping for answers, and the paranormal community quickly jumped in. Most believe it's a ghost, but no one can agree on why it was in the car or what it wanted with the kids. On January 28, 2024, a family fishing by a tranquil riverside suddenly felt an eerie presence nearby. Initially, they thought it was just their imagination, but then they noticed a shadow, darker than the surrounding trees, moving through the branches. For a fleeting moment, it appeared to take on a vaguely human shape before vanishing into the forest. The family captured the encounter on camera, showing they were not alone in the woods. One night in Ecuador, Leroy Torres was out with his family when they saw movement in the back of the truck in front of them. To make sure they weren't imagining things, they began recording it.
Ahí estamos viendo, aquí en la carretera Naranjal, unos niños, una sombra. No hay gente ahí, mi gente, créame. Estamos totalmente sorprendidos y asustados al mismo tiempo. Estoy viajando con mi familia. Se ven unos niños que juegan en un carro que está totalmente vacío en la parte de atrás. Es algo increíble. Tenemos el miedo total aquí en el carro, pero en nombre de Cristo no va a pasar nada.
At first, Leroy and his family just laughed it off, thinking it might be something paranormal. But after sharing the video online, people started pointing out something darker. What if those shadows weren't ghosts, but kidnapped children? What do you think? Deep in the woods, far from the main trail, a woman stumbled upon something unusual. An abandoned baby carrier. How something like that ended up in such a remote location is a mystery. It was one of those moments that just didn't feel right. While fishing near a forest, this kayaker experienced something unusual. A terrifying scream echoed through the forest, unlike any animal the kayaker had ever heard, suggesting something far more mysterious. The area, surrounded by dense woods, is known for cryptid sightings, including Bigfoot. While skeptics argue it might have been a wild animal, the kayaker is convinced it wasn't any ordinary creature. Could it have been the legendary Bigfoot or something entirely different? A group was live streaming from an old cemetery when they caught something unusual on camera.
Like level out. Does it say so?
The old cemetery looked quiet at first, full of worn tombstones and nothing out of the ordinary. But as the camera panned, a faint, see-through figure suddenly moved across the screen from right to left, so quick you could barely catch it. None of the crew seemed to notice it at the time. Later, people watching the stream said it might have just been someone's breath in the cold, but it looked too solid, too clear, like it actually had shape and movement. Whatever it was, it didn't seem like just cold air. Something was definitely there. Overnight is a channel run by a group of friends who focus on urban exploration, sharing raw footage of their adventures in abandoned places around the world. In July 2024, they set out to explore Japan's most haunted house, the Himuro Mansion, also known as the Strangling Ritual Mansion. The mansion has a dark history, infamous for gruesome rituals meant to control evil spirits, which ultimately went terribly wrong, resulting in the death of an entire family. What started as an exciting adventure quickly turned into a truly terrifying experience.
Oh, there's somebody on the table right here. Hello? See right there?
Oh yeah, they're like sitting on the edge of the table.
Are you sitting right here in the... There is a little ball right next to the ball. There's a little ball on the table right here.
No, sir.
If you're sitting there, can you please move that little ball?
Whoa.
Whoa. Hello.
Hard to get. Yeah. These are very hard to let you.
Their laser, meant to detect figures and movement in the area, picked up something that immediately sent shivers down their spines. Despite the uneasy feeling, they chose to shrug it off and keep exploring. They had no idea that this was only the start of even more frightening events waiting ahead.
With a direct confirmation of anything we might be wondering, you can simply put some energy or tap that box.
Am I on video?
The body's on the box right now. It's directly on the box right after you did that.
You are on video.
Yes. And you're right on the box as well. You can put your energy right into that.
It has to be like modern, not 1800s, to know, am I on video?
It soon became obvious that something was truly inside the building. Though they couldn't fully comprehend what they had just experienced, they gathered the courage to keep going, especially since whatever presence was there didn't seem hostile. But what they didn't realize was that the night's real terror had only just begun.
Ready? Next round of questions, see if it's made any difference. Alright, 3, 2. Whoa. What happened?
Blinking.
It's actually blinking.
It was, yeah.
Are you touching the rope right now?
It's activating this area.
Can you touch any of these things that we're using right now? Show us that you're here.
Yeah, you're hearing that in real life. That's
Yeah, it's a...
Sounds like our mall chant.
Yeah. It's right there. It's right next to you, too.
Doesn't that sound like our mall chant?
There was no denying it. They weren't alone. After collecting most of the evidence they came for, the group firmly told whatever was inside to stay put and not follow them. Thankfully, they managed to leave the mansion unharmed. Who would have guessed the chilling legends about Himuro Mansion might actually be real? It's a haunting reminder that some mysteries in this world are still waiting to be uncovered. In Japan, a hospital opened in 1972, but shut down just 3 months later. Its remote mountain location made it hard to reach, and with limited staff and equipment, many patients suffered. Over time, the lack of resources and declining visitors forced it into bankruptcy. Years after being abandoned, eerie stories began to spread. People claimed to hear disembodied voices and footsteps echoing through the halls, especially on the first floor. Even stranger were reports of massive footprints, too large to belong to any human, suggesting something otherworldly. Others spoke of dark, shadowy figures on the third floor, peering from around corners, leaving the entire building steeped in an unsettling atmosphere. That haunting reputation drew in a YouTuber named Zark, known for his channel Zarkaroo Vlogs. Determined to uncover the truth, he set out in November 2024 to explore the site, joined by his friend Iwa. But the moment they arrived, the oppressive, eerie presence of the decaying hospital made it clear. They were stepping into something far beyond a typical exploration.
Thing is, yung mga room wala na siyang laman. Wait, is this a handprint? Is this a handprint? Might be. No? Wait. Kung banwa?
They heard an odd noise coming from one of the rooms, but when they checked, no one was there. Assuming it was just an animal scurrying around, they shrugged it off and kept exploring, unaware that something far more unsettling was waiting for them deeper inside.
There's a device right here. Color red. There's also a bell. And a music box. You can play it. You can tap the bell. Can you ring the bell again if you're here? Yes. 100%. Wait, are you the one in my REM pod? Are you the one touching my REM pod? It's a yes. Warning for yes. And it confirms here. Okay, to confirm, are you a bad spirit? What are you doing?
To their shock, something actually responded, clear proof that there was real paranormal activity in the hospital. Fear set in, but so did curiosity. They had no idea that this was only the start of a chain of eerie and unexplained events waiting to unfold.
You want to tell something about this place? Can you tell something about this place? To the shadow, did you hear? この影は、ここで死にましたか? Mirror front. Beware. Wait, beware of the mirror in front. And one thing, basag yung mga mirror sa CR sa baba. Oh, tapos basag lahat. And he's telling us to beware of the mirror in front. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your warning us. Do you miss this place? What does this place look like for you now?
Metaphysics, 20 arms, fresh surprise.
What do you mean by surprise? Believe it is not a place.
Realizing how dangerous things were becoming, they chose to end the investigation and get out while they still could. Who knows what might have happened if they'd stayed even a moment longer. Leaving was definitely the right call. Some things just aren't worth the risk. Luckily, they made it out of the hospital and its eerie grounds completely unharmed. A man was backpacking alone through a remote wilderness area, filming his journey, when he suddenly heard an unusual sound.
Dude, I'm tripping out. This is wild.
A loud, unidentifiable sound echoed through the trees. He was completely alone, with no signs of wildlife nearby. Was it a predator, or something lurking in the shadows? If you recognize the sound, or have any theories, share them in the comments. Ads Ventures is a UK-based YouTube channel where Ads shares his slow travels across Britain in his van and camping trips. Videos that make you almost smell the pine needles and feel your thoughts slow down. But this Halloween night was different. He parked at the edge of a remote forest and hiked in on foot. Along the way, he passed an old church with a cemetery that looked straight out of a ghost story. Under the moonlight, the gravestones seemed to lean in, whispering secrets he didn't want to hear. Despite the eerie setting, everything felt normal as he settled in for the night. Ads was halfway through making hot chocolate, probably feeling pleased with himself for handling the spooky vibes, until something moved in the background, barely noticeable at first, but impossible to unsee once caught.
I've come up to that bit where the light was just shining. What? He's moved. I'm gonna have to go and check that out.
Right after that cozy moment, Ads began hearing faint noises. Not just the usual rustle of branches or wind through leaves, but sounds that felt deliberate. He scanned the darkness and saw it. Tiny orbs of light flickering in the distance. Ghost lights or reflecting eyes. Either way, the forest suddenly felt unnervingly alive.
I'm starting to get a little bit lost, I'm not gonna lie. But I think I'm gonna head back towards the way that I came because I swear I keep seeing someone. Hold on.
As the lights flickered, a silhouette briefly appeared in the distance. Ads didn't get a clear look and kept walking, but then froze, realizing he might have seen someone. Uneasy, he decided to change direction, choosing to put distance between himself and the figure rather than investigate further.
There's no one there. I swear there was. I think I'm gonna go this way, to be honest with you. The hell? That is a person. I'm not even joking. What the? I can't see anything. Oh, what was that?
He knew what he saw. It wasn't a trick of the light or his imagination. A figure stood there, motionless, blending into the darkness. When ads uploaded the footage, the comments section exploded. Some dismissed it as a Halloween stunt or a cheap scare, but others noted how the figure didn't move like a person and how the shadow clung unnaturally to the spot. The truth remains unknown. While browsing real estate listings, a Facebook user came across a creepy post. An old house in Levo, California, priced at just $39,000. But one photo immediately stood out. A pale, hollow-looking face could be seen in the frame. When the user contacted the agent for clarification, that specific image was suddenly blacked out. The agent explained that several photos had shown strange, ghost-like figures. The user later ran the image through editing software and confirmed it hadn't been altered. The figure had no visible eyes, only dark sockets, sunken cheeks, and a high forehead, resembling a woman who didn't look alive. Since then, the home's price has mysteriously tripled. While exploring the woods, a Reddit user came across an unusual sight. At first, it seemed like just an ordinary branch, but on closer inspection, it wasn't. The Dolphone's conifer, or wraparound spider, clings so tightly to the twig that it almost looks like part of the tree. Lying flat and hugging the branch, it is tiny, just a few millimeters wide, and extremely difficult to notice. Luckily, this little spider is harmless to humans. Though seeing it up close might be a bit unsettling, it poses no threat. The Newfoundland outsider didn't gain followers by staying safe. His channel shows him building his wilderness cabin, each video full of real outdoor know-how. On this day, the crunch of snow under his snowmobile echoed through the quiet forest as he carried supplies to his remote cabin. But the wilderness had its own plans, and sometimes curiosity can be the most dangerous companion.
So there's a moose on the pass here. Looks like he's got his right hind leg hurt. Little 4-point bull. Hey buddy. We're just trying to get past. Oh, I feel sorry for him. He's got a long winter yet. Move off to the path a bit so I can get by.
The moose appeared from the snowy landscape like a living mountain, huge, still, and absolutely stunning. Most people would have turned back right away, but that little voice of curiosity kept whispering, "Just go a bit closer."
I let him do what he's gonna do, go down the road and get off in the trees. In the meantime, I'll just wait here.
The standoff dragged on, full of tense silence. No matter what he did, this massive moose wouldn't give up even a bit of its territory. It stood there like a furry roadblock with serious boundary problems.
And I sat quietly behind him for half an hour. Nope. He's not moving. And see, he's still back there. He's still back there and he's not moving.
When he turned on the snowmobile to get past the big moose, the wild hit him with a sudden, harsh lesson.
Go on! Hurry up! Go on, I gotta get down to the cabin. Go on! Hey! Hey! Oh, knocked my thing out.
A quick kick was enough, a warning that could have turned dangerous fast. Moose can seriously hurt or even kill, especially when they feel their territory is threatened. The smart thing is always the same. Keep your distance, don't stare, and be patient. He did just that, taking the warning, waiting for the moose to calm down, and then carefully finishing his trip. A Facebook user decided to cut through the woods behind their house after visiting a friend. Though it was a short walk, an intense feeling of dread overcame them as they approached the trees. At that moment, they received a message from their friend, who claimed to be a medium. Surround yourself with light. The friend explained that a girl had recently taken her own life in those woods. Nervous but curious, the user paused to take a few photos. Later, after adjusting the brightness, one image revealed a pale figure in black, seemingly walking with an animal. When they returned the next day to take the same shot, nothing unusual appeared. No figure, no shadows. Was it merely pareidolia, a trick of light and foliage, or had they captured something lingering in the woods that night? While walking a trail with her dogs, a Reddit user spotted a massive creature. She took a quick photo and quickly left. It wasn't Bigfoot. It was a moose just 10 feet from the trail. Part of it was hidden by foliage, resulting in a blurry shot. The experience illustrated how challenging it can be to photograph wildlife up close, even large animals. And the user noted this might explain why many alleged Bigfoot photos look so unclear and unconvincing. On June 21st, 2025, the Paranormal Discovery team packed their gear and set their GPS for the Tangier Wildlands in Nova Scotia, an area steeped in old Bigfoot legends and eerie campfire tales. On paper, their plan was straightforward: venture deeper into the unmapped mountain terrain than anyone else had before.
Mapping project. There was actually, I think, in the early 1900s, but then again, someone else said it was like pretty recent, the last 5 years. But the map had a Sasquatch encounter here. Someone actually encountered one, marked it down. So we went hunting for that in the wintertime. But right now, we're coming back again so we can actually set up camp and look for one, or it, or whatever. Really sick. We got the tarp up, didn't film it because it was actually kind of coming down for a bit. Yeah, we wanted to just get it up so we can just have something we can be under at this point in time. So now that everything is good to go, I think the camping night starts. We're gonna get everything, the table, the cookers. I don't know about a bonfire, maybe. But for right now, we got the cookers. We're gonna make some food. Kiki, Alika, good girl. Okay, so this is the first time I've actually set up this tarp in this configuration. It looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. I've never done it before, but I kind of vibe it.
As they drove deeper into the dense forest, the atmosphere began to change. The higher they climbed, the heavier the silence felt, pressing down on them. They weren't just among trees anymore. It felt as if they had entered a living, ancient entity, breathing slowly. Eventually, they reached a clearing familiar from past trips, but this time it was overgrown and slick from rain, as if the land itself was trying to erase any trace of their presence.
I'm hearing footsteps in the bushes, man, like on both sides. This side, and then on this side. Trying to rationalize like as if it's like a bear or maybe a deer or something. What the f*** that sound? Like, what was that sound? Bird or cryptid, something. Whatever is here found us. Are you a Bigfoot? Oh my God. I actually can't even breathe right now. Oh. Oh. Panic attack. I like a damn panic attack. Okay.
Night approached them quickly. They set up camp, made dinner, and exchanged silly jokes to ease the tension. Even their dog, Kia, remained calm, which was always a good sign. Their lead investigator then decided to venture off alone with a flashlight and a camera. Branches snapped nearby, and a deep, otherworldly moan rolled through the darkness. Far too powerful for any animal they knew. Suddenly, something brushed against his back.
Yeah. What happened? Just some weird sounds, really.
Yeah, I also heard some weird sounds too.
Hey, baby. Hey. Yeah, like unhuman type of sounds. It was
like moaning?
like something in distress.
Oh, like I heard some really weird like moaning.
Oh.
That I've legit like never heard before.
Yeah, that was weird. It was...
Yeah.
Something's like in there.
I know, right?
Or there's like a Bigfoot literally so close to us. Anyways.
Say no.
Say no?
Say no to what? Fetch. It literally just said fetch. Okay, wait. I swear I just heard like something just got thrown. It just said hunt. Yeah. Are we being hunted by something?
When he returned to camp, shaken and wide-eyed, it was as if the forest wasn't done with them. The Spirit Talker app suddenly activated, spitting out fragmented words like fetch, hunt, and say no. Inhuman moans echoed through the trees, and footsteps snapped over branches where nothing could be seen. Whether it was a cryptid, an interdimensional glitch, or a spirit trapped in the woods, it felt like the forest was replaying its own ghost story. With over 60% of Nova Scotia covered in wilderness, there are plenty of dark corners for ancient things to hide. By dawn, the team was exhausted and on edge, leaving with footage that proved little, yet the sensation of being hunted lingered. Someone posted this photo online claiming they saw Bigfoot while camping. At first, they thought it was a bear, but bears don't walk like that. The figure was too far away to make out clearly, so they took a picture to zoom in later. When they did, the body looked more ape-like, but there are no wild apes in that area. It wasn't clear what the creature was, but the first thought that came to mind was Bigfoot. While hiking near Lover's Leap Bridge in New Milford, a hiker noticed a grim message scrawled on the bridge railing, "Taken the plunge," followed by a date. They quickly realized that a fall from that height would be fatal, with only jagged rocks, a river, and steep terrain below. Later, they learned the area has a haunting history. Long ago, a Native American woman, believing her lover, a white man, had died in war, leapt from the nearby cliffs in despair. When the man returned and discovered what had happened, he followed the same tragic fate. Now, the note on the bridge seems to echo this sorrowful tradition. Camo Tim shared a video on the Ray RLC channel. He was exploring a forest trail after hearing reports of strange sights and sounds. It's the classic setup, a lone hiker with a camera following a rumor into dense woods. Usually these stories fizzle out, but this one quickly started living up to its reputation.
Alright guys, so I got a call from Ray Gloom. He got a email from an anonymous person. It was a weird email. It basically said, to whom this may concern. My name is, I'm keeping his name anonymous. He was up traveling on this trail. It doesn't look like a trail, but it's a trail that goes up the, up the hill here. He said one night he was traveling up this trail and he heard a laughter. Didn't know what it was. Kept hiking, thinking, it was wind or something, anyways, it was about, give or take an hour and a half in, and he heard it again. He didn't know what it was. It scared him a lot. He didn't want to hike any further. He turned around and he started coming home. Well, when he turned around, he saw something poke its head back behind a tree. He said it looked like an elderly lady.
Tim was standing in grass nearly waist high, talking to the camera and describing what the previous hiker had experienced, likely expecting to spot nothing more than a squirrel. Then, mid-sentence, the forest seemed to respond. A sharp, eerie laugh echoed through the trees. It wasn't nearby, but not far enough to feel safe either.
What was that? Did you hear that?
Suddenly, those campfire ghost stories didn't seem funny anymore. Tim looked around nervously, unsure if it was a prank or if he really wasn't alone.
Guys, I just heard an eerie laugh. There it was again. What was that? I don't want to go any further. Can you guys see this? Like, I don't want to go any further. What was that? Guys, I heard that eerie laugh right there. What the heck is that? Guys, I'm terrified right now.
Get out of here! Then things got worse. A person slowly stepped out from behind a tree, like she was waiting for her cue. At first, she looked like an elderly woman, but something seemed off. Her face didn't look right, maybe like a mask. Who stands alone in the woods, giggling like that, half hidden behind a tree? And more importantly, why? If she was trying to scare someone, she succeeded. A family from Oregon went for a walk in the woods and took several photos, including one of their little daughter. Everything seemed fine until they got home and looked through the pictures. In one of them, a tall see-through figure appeared beside their daughter, covered in what seemed to be a cloak. They hadn't noticed anything there while taking the photo. It only showed up afterward. Even stranger, their daughter was looking right at it, as if she'd seen it herself. After being gone for several months, an Appalachian homeowner came back to find small handprints in the house. They hadn't been there before, and no one had accessed the home during their absence. Some suggest it could be raccoons or squirrels sneaking in through tiny openings, while others think something stranger, perhaps dolls or spirits, left the marks. Whatever the cause, the house hadn't been truly empty. Outdoor chef life has mastered cooking in the wild, turning fresh catches into meals right by clear, sparkling waters. His channel shows the perfect connection between fishing and nature, where the day's catch becomes a feast under the open sky. But when he went to Alaska's untouched fishing spots, he realized he wasn't the only one using these waters.
Welcome back to another episode of Outdoor Chef Life. I'm Taku, and we're still in Alaska, doing more Alaska things. Check out what's happening behind me. These guys here have cast nets, and they're casting for not herring like we do. They're casting for salmon. I'm just helping John spot some of the salmon here. That's all I can do. Fish spotter and bear watcher. That's what I'm here for. Oh, right there, dude. There's a big school right there. They all moved down right now. Oh, they're coming back up, John. They're coming back up right now. Yep. You see them? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6, 7. Yep, right there, right in front of you. Yep, they're right there, man. Yeah, perfect. Let it drop. Oh, good. You got him. Yeah. That's right. Nice, man. Got one. Fish spotter and bear watcher.
The fish looked amazing, its silver scales sparkling in the sun, hinting at a delicious meal. Then the real boss of the waters appeared, a bear, confidently approaching as if it owned the place. Suddenly, the humans were left feeling like very anxious fishing guides.
Bear, we got a bear right there. Two of them. Everybody's going after it. Got the blowhorns. Oh, I'm gonna get in the water. Oh, getting close. They're getting close. Trying to scare off a bear. Oh my God, that's a big brown. They're just trying to scare it off. Oh, he's got a fish. He's got the fish. Oh my God, he's got a fish. He's got a fish. He stole their fish. There's a bear going right towards Jocelyn. Hold on. Find my drone, and then this guy was like, behind you! And the bear was right behind me. He snuck up. Hey, bear!
Don't chase it towards her.
Hey, bear!
You're chasing it towards him. You're cornering it. John, come back.
Hey, bear! Hey, bear! Hey, bear! Get back, bear!
Get back, bear!
Get back!
Get back! Bear! Bear!
Get back!
Get back!
Back!
Bear!
Get back!
Bear!
Go! Go!
Go, bear!
Go!
Go, bear! Go!
Go!
Get back!
Get back!
Bear! Bear! Bear!
Get back!
Get back! Bear! 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 I think we need an air horn.
I think we need an air horn.
This is too tiring.
Holy
I'm
shit.
losing my voice.
Oh!
Go!
Hey, bear coming! Bear coming!
Well, I don't really want him to get down.
Yeah.
We have a horn.
Whoa, great!
Their sense of victory felt too soon. Just when they thought they had scared off the huge predator. Surprise! The bear came back, calm and patient, clearly knowing the game better than they did. He stood there like an experienced boss, watching the humans work while waiting for his share. On June 16th, 2024, a strange photo started making the rounds on Facebook. It showed a tall, fur-covered figure, but something seemed off. Its arms hung unusually low, and its body looked thin and upright, unlike the Bigfoot seen in famous sightings like Patterson's or those reported in Ohio. Nothing about this creature fit the usual descriptions. Some began to wonder, was it really Bigfoot or something else entirely? A girl and her mother were out hiking, taking photos as they enjoyed the day. Nothing seemed unusual at the time, so they continued their walk. But later, while showing the pictures to the family, they noticed something unsettling. In one photo, a shadowy figure appeared, something no one had seen before. It wasn't a reflection or a trick of the light. It looked like someone was standing behind the tall grass, watching. They hadn't seen or heard anyone else out there. Tim Wells is exactly what you'd expect, a bow hunter who spends more time in the woods than around people. His videos are simple and honest. No flashy edits, no fake drama, just solid tracking, tips on staying safe, and the occasional. During Idaho's 2013 elk season, Tim was about to experience something no amount of hunting experience could have prepared him for. It all began when his friend kept insisting he'd spotted a large bear. Tim got his bow ready, adrenaline pumping, because for him, a big bear usually meant a big meal.
Give me the camera. Oh. Eric, get out, get my bow, get out. Eric, come here. Where's my bow? Oh my god. I tripped. Oh my god, I tripped my bow. What's that? I told you that wasn't a freaking bear.
The moment Tim realized what he was seeing, he abandoned his shot and grabbed his camera, sprinting after it. This wasn't just unusual, it was a once-in-a-lifetime encounter. After a few crashes through the underbrush, whatever it was disappeared. No blood, no tracks, just Tim, heart pounding, knowing he had just witnessed something he would never be able to explain.
Yeah, I didn't get pushed on play until...
But when did you realize it wasn't a bear?
Well, when I realized it wasn't a bear, when we were sitting here and with the foliage and everything, the undergrowth here, it looked like a bear because all I seen was the brown coming.
Tim and his friend had no idea what they'd actually come across. Their reactions were completely genuine. And think about how different it could have ended. If they'd fired an arrow without stopping to look, it would have been a tragic twist to the Bigfoot story. So, what do you think? Was it just an elk playing hide and seek, or did they almost encounter something that could have broken the internet? Share your theories in the comments. While reviewing footage from his trail camera, a man noticed something unusual, a glowing figure in the distance. It didn't resemble a person or any animal he recognized. Unfortunately, the image quality and absence of additional photos made it impossible to determine exactly what he had captured. Still, whatever it was, it didn't seem to be just an ordinary animal. While exploring an abandoned gold dredge, a man snapped several photos to capture its eerie atmosphere, unaware of what he had just caught. In one image, a strange face appears on the left side of the frame. It wasn't visible in any of the other photos, and there were no reflections or dust particles that could explain it. Some people dismissed it as pareidolia, while others believed he had captured something truly unsettling. The photographer now plans to return to the site to investigate, but for now, the face remains a mystery. The Brazilian channel Tesouros do Mundo is all about the excitement of discovery. A guy, a metal detector, and a forest full of hidden secrets. Usually he finds rusty tools, old coins, or antique bracelets. But this time, the ground had something darker in store. The hunt started like any other. He scanned near some thick brush, and the detector beeped like he'd hit gold. He dug up a piece of jewelry, looking valuable and still shining. It seemed like it was going to be a great day.
Olha aí, amigo internauta, já bateu um sinalzinho. Bateu um sinalzinho bom aqui, hein? Entendeu? Um sinalzinho bom aqui, pessoal. Esse aqui, se eu não me engano, esse aqui era da parte da casa aí, ó. A casa da Viúva Negra. Pode ver os tijolos aí, ó. Olha aí, pessoal, faz tempo, hein? Sinalzinho bateu forte aqui, pessoal. Dá um barulho de carro aí, nós estamos na beira da estrada aí, tá? Aí, vamos ver se já saiu aí. Nossa, mas olha ali. O sinal continua aqui, pessoal. Mas o cameraman tá dando sinal pra mim com o dedo ali. E é verdade, olha aqui, ó. Dá uma olhada aqui, gente, já. Tem algo que tá aqui já, ó. Opa. Que minha nossa, gente do céu. Dá uma olhada aí, isso aí. Eu acho que tem algo sinistro ali.
But treasure wasn't the only thing buried there. Just under the same spot were bones. Not animal bones, but a human hand, fragile and partly preserved. Even worse, the same golden ring was still on one of its fingers. The camera stopped. So did he. In that moment, the feeling in the air changed from excitement to pure dread.
Tem que ligar lá pra família, vir ver essas coisas aqui.
Já chegou nem mexer mais, pai.
Hã? Não, vamos ver se é isso mesmo.
Com certeza, pai.
Olha aí, pessoal. Não vamos mexer, vamos deixar aqui, pessoal. Vamos deixar assim. Olha aí, gente, ó. Caramba, meu. Ó, pode ver aqui, ó. A ponta dos dedos ali, ó. Ali, ó. Olha, pessoal, realmente, pode ver aqui, ó. É uma mão, olha lá, ó. Cara, agora arrepiou, hein? Olha aqui, pessoal, ó. 2 anéis aqui, ó. Cara, olha só isso aqui. Cara, olha aqui os anéis. Vai lá, filho, vai lá, já liga pra ele já que a gente achou algo suspeito aqui. Aí, pessoal, o Júnior já vai ligar pra família. Cara, eu agora abaixou a pressão. Me deu uma tremedeira nisso aqui, gente. Cara, olha isso aqui, gente. Eu nunca vi isso aqui na minha vida, pessoal. Nunca tinha visto algo assim. Olha aí, ó. Pode ver uma mão e 2 anéis aí, gente. O Júnior já vai ligar pra família lá. Já vai relatar sobre isso aqui. Pra eles ver o que eles vão fazer com isso daí. A gente não vai mexer mais nisso daí, não. Caramba, meu. Nós somos relatados de coisa aí mesmo. A última vez eu tinha achado umas coisas estranhas. Agora esse aí arrepiou mesmo. Esse aí mexeu com o sentimento do Ginho.
Tá bem, pai?
Cara, não tô legal não, cara. Avisou a família lá?
Avisei, já liguei lá, já. Estão vindo. Nossa, pai. Pesado demais.
He kept filming, but the mood had changed. The atmosphere felt hollow and the silence heavier. A few feet away, under more dirt, he found a worn satchel. Inside were faded photos, forgotten trinkets, and old money bills that looked like they hadn't been used in decades, maybe from the 1930s or 1950s. Whoever this person was, they hadn't just been buried, they had been hidden, still wearing their jewelry when they were put in the ground.
Olha aí, gente. Caramba, meu. Olha o que a gente encontrou aqui. Dá uma olhada. Ó, pelo jeito. Olha aí, gente. Areias altas. Canivete. Dá uma olhadinha, ó. Um canivete, esse aqui é dos antigos, hein? Esse é dos antigos. Olha aí, ó. Gente do céu, tem coisa aqui dentro. Opa, tem seco. Opa, olha aí. Mais um objeto aqui, pessoal. Pra quem não sabe, isso aqui é uma navalha. Olha, navalha de barbear. Então, olha, 2 objetos já aqui dentro da bolsa. E olha aqui. Epa, dá uma olhada, gente. Vou tirar tudo e já mostro pra vocês. Epa, fotos. Muitas fotos, gente. Dá uma olhadinha aqui, ó. Olha aí, gente. Bastante moeda, gente. Olha o vidrinho. Cheio de moeda, pessoal, dá uma olhadinha. São moedas de alumínio, gente. 2 cruzeiros, 1964, 1963. Aqui tem de 1 cruzeiro, 1960, gente. Olha, moedas de alumínio aqui, 1960, 1959 e uma 1960. Olha aí, ó. Pra quem não conhecia essas moedas, então aí, ó. Moedas de alumínio, é isso, pessoal. Moedas de cruzeiros. Aqui,
Olha só, umas letras aqui atrás. E olha o que tá aqui no meio, pessoal. Lembrança de batismo aí, pessoal. Só que a letra aqui, ó, é das antigas, hein? Não dá nem pra ver o que que é, gente. Olha aqui. Vamos ver se dá pra ver a data aqui. Ó, 1º de setembro de 1957. Tá aqui a data, então, ó. Então, um registro aí de batismo aí de 1957, gente. Esse é dos antigos.
The authorities were called, and the video stops there. No identity was confirmed, and no official statement was given. Just unanswered questions and silence. But here's the odd part. Why bury valuables with the body? In a robbery or murder, the jewelry would probably be taken. Unless the person responsible wanted to avoid getting caught, they buried everything. The body, the belongings, and the truth. The bag, the bones, and the silence that followed all tell part of a story, but not the full one. We might never know who this person was or how they died, only that someone wanted them erased from memory. Even decades later, the forest seems to speak. So, was this a cold case waiting to be uncovered, or something that should have stayed hidden? Share your thoughts in the comments. Next, we move to the California mountains, where a lone hiker discovered something no one wants to find. While enjoying a calm day in nature, a man posed for a simple photo. But when the image was developed, something extraordinary appeared. Standing just in front of him was his late wife, a woman who had long passed. The photo defies explanation. Was it a trick of light, a camera glitch, or something truly unexplainable? A few years back, a man passed by an old barn and noticed something eerie. At first, it seemed like just a wet patch, but given the barn's history, it felt unsettling. Years earlier, a man had suffered a fatal heart attack inside that very barn, and nearby, the neighbor's father was buried. Was the mysterious mark connected to the barn's past, or was it simply an ordinary stain? Luke is an outdoor adventurer whose YouTube channel is a goldmine for camping enthusiasts. He doesn't just review gear, he takes it into wild forests to show how it performs in real conditions. The most striking part is how his videos look. So crisp and beautifully edited that it often feels more like watching an art film than a guy in the dirt. His trips usually have a peaceful vibe, except for this one. On this trip, the forest had other plans, and it was clear it wasn't going to let Luke relax.
Adventure, everyone. We are out here in a section of the green forest. There are roots, rocks, and fallen trees everywhere, and everything is super slick. That's because everything here is soaking wet. This is the 3rd week straight of solid rain. There's water literally dripping from everything. What I need to do first, folks, is figure out exactly where I'm going to stay tonight. I have a tarp set up for this trip. I'm thinking this tree to this tree, with the tarp going this way. The ground here is somewhat level, more so than anything else. It's not perfect, but it will certainly do. This area here is a perfect example of real-world off-trail camping. This is what it's like. Nothing's flat, nothing's even. There's roots and rocks all over the place. This is what you will have to contend with if you want to do what I do. Off-trail, out in the middle of nowhere, far away from other people. What you need to get accustomed to is being satisfied with imperfect conditions. You may not have the best campsite out there, but take a look around. While certain areas suffer, other areas shine. And that is certainly true with this area here.
Luke set up his shelter for the night, following his usual routine, and cooked a hearty meal beneath the dense canopy. But once the sun set, it felt as if a heavy black blanket had been thrown over the world. His small campsite, glowing modestly, became a fragile island of light surrounded by an endless, suffocating darkness. That kind of darkness has a way of seeming alive, whispering even when nothing is actually there.
Good times. How do you all like to cook when you're out backpacking? Comment down below. By the way, there's no right or wrong answer.
Not wanting to sit in the heavy silence, Luke decided to start a small fire to ward off the chill and keep busy. Ironically, that's exactly when things started to feel off. The moment the flames sparked, the forest seemed to lean in closer, as if watching or waiting.
I could have swore I heard something walking through the woods. Something big, big enough to break branches and whatnot. There are black bear up here, but that would be highly irregular for them to come this close to camp. I definitely heard something though.
Then the noises began. They weren't obvious or easy to pinpoint, just faint, persistent sounds slipping out of the darkness. What made it worse was how they hovered at the edge of perception, almost deliberately keeping him uncertain. He tried to brush it off, telling himself it was just the forest at work. But darkness has a way of playing its own tricks.
It is update time, everyone. It's about 3 o'clock in the morning. It's been raining all night long since roughly 11 p.m. It's a good solid rain. Nothing heavy, nothing crazy, no thunderstorms. And now that I'm thinking about it, no wind either. It's quite calm.
Eventually, Luke forced himself into his shelter, attempting to get some sleep. The night stretched on in cruel bursts of half-dreams and sudden awakenings, his ears on high alert for every crack or rustle. When morning finally returned, he didn't linger and quickly packed up. Yet, even with daylight filtering through the trees, one question lingered: what had been out there with him all night? While hiking deep in the mountains, a lone hiker came across something disturbing about 4 miles in. Lying beside the trail were several handmade figures, damaged humanoid shapes with faces, limbs, and needles stuck in them. Curious, the hiker picked one up. It felt cold and damp. There were no other hikers, no signs, and no explanation. The figures resembled voodoo dolls, perhaps part of a ritual, a memorial, or something darker. Whatever the case, the discovery left the hiker profoundly unsettled. While camping in the woods, 3 friends posed by their campfire for a photo, but when the film was developed, something strange appeared behind them. A blurry figure standing with its arms crossed. None of them recalled anyone being there. A medium later claimed the image contained multiple spirits, pointing to strange light streaks and faint faces hidden throughout the photo. Some insist it's just smoke, but how could smoke form something so detailed, so human? Lucao is known for exploring Brazil's forgotten sites, abandoned buildings that rise like tombstones against modern life. He carefully documents their history, always with a friend, revealing stories of decay and neglect. But when they went to check out an abandoned place near the edge of a forest just outside the city, neither of them could have guessed what was inside those crumbling walls. What they found that day was deeply disturbing and completely real.
Vocês estão, mano? Tudo beleza com vocês? Mano, o vídeo de hoje eu vou estar indo em busca de um lugar que eu já queria ter muito tempo já encontrado esse lugar, porém eu nunca encontrava porque eu não sabia a localização exata. Mas hoje eu recebi uma grande pista, uma mega pista sobre onde supostamente fica esse lugar e tudo leva a crer que realmente é ele, mas se não for, aí vai ser pernado perdido, mas eu vou estar saindo de casa daqui a pouco em busca desse lugar. E o que eu posso adiantar é que é um restaurante antigo. Que, meu amigo, pela foto o lugar é muito, muito, muito incrível mesmo. Assim, é um lugar antigo, porém eu não sei datas de construção e também não sei o nome do lugar ainda. E também eu não sei quantos anos de abandono e nem quantos anos esse lugar tem. Mas é isso, então vou deixar de enrolação, vou deixar de ficar falando, vou partir, chama meu primo e a gente vai pegar rumo esse lugar. Agora vai queimar asfalto pra caramba, porque é longe, mano, é longe. Então,
As soon as they got there, the building felt almost alive, resisting their entry. Thick plants clung to the walls like skeletal fingers, and vines covered every entrance, forming an almost impossible green barrier.
cara, vai ter que descer aqui, ó, pra ir lá. Caraca, velho. Cuidado cair, hein, filho. Tô filmando você. Se você cair, é vídeo cacetada. Vai ficar paraplégico.
É que é brejeiro mesmo.
É brejo, né?
Mas dá pra tentar atravessar ali no mato.
Mas olha lá o final, lá.
Ah, ô Luca.
Que?
Ali sai no muro atrás do outro restaurante.
É mesmo?
E aqui você não passa aqui nem fudendo, olha os bambu.
Vixe. E onde tá
Onde que tá
onde
indo?
tá essas vagas? Caraca, mano, como é que nós vai chegar ali? Eu quero ver isso aqui, ó. Mano, nós tá meio perdidão, velho, porque não tem como entrar aqui no lugar. Deixa eu ver aqui. Eita, que susto, lagarto. Ó. Aqui, ó, tem as passarelas, ó. Eu ouvi falar sobre essas... Ih, caramba. Tem um baita de um poço aqui, ó.
Following their instincts, they finally managed to get past the building's natural defenses. Inside, they were met with stale air and deep shadows. Just another abandoned place ready to reveal its secrets.
Tô com medo de cobra aqui, ó. Vem louco, tô com medo de cobra.
Vou cair na água.
Não vai não, dá um pulão e vem. Aí.
Nossa, eu bati o pé na água.
Eu também bati. Nossa, olha que essa árvore.
Deixa eu ver aqui pra você aqui. Deixa eu pegar o holofote. Meu Deus. Cuidado aí, mano. Nossa, aqui meu pé aqui. Bíblia, tá.
But as they made their way through the thick plants toward another entrance, their normal filming routine suddenly became scary. The sound of their footsteps felt way too loud, breaking the heavy, quiet silence.
E aqui o que tem? Ô, João, será que dá encarna aqui, mano? Aqui
Vamos
você
ver se
sai.
dá pra ir.
Aqui, ó. Nós pegar aqui pra você ver, ó. Nós sai lá na frente. Tem uma porta ali, ó.
Mano, duro é pisar em cobra, hein, mano.
Não, o duro é esse chão, mano. Tá muito propício.
Então, escorpião, cobra.
Se for, vai ter que ir de uma vez, mano.
Então.
Quem vai? Quer que eu vou na frente?
Vai, quer que segura a câmera? Você vai moendo tudo?
Não dá pra ir.
Vou ir atrás do sim.
Nossa, eles estão rolando aqui, ó. Eles vão pra lá aqui, ó.
Ô, Luca, pode ter caseira aí.
Ô, tá cheio de roupa.
Entra de uma vez pra ver. Pede licença.
Licença. Eita, tô rolando aqui, João. Eles tô rolando aqui, mano.
Ô, Luca, pode ter caseira aí.
Ô, tá cheio de roupa.
Entra de uma vez pra ver. Pede licença.
Licença. João! Mano, olha aquilo ali, velho. Não, mano. Nossa, velho. Ai, meu coração, mano.
O que tem ali?
Ai, mano, meu coração, velho, tá batendo muito forte.
Sai daqui.
Ai, mano.
Sai daqui.
Não, olha ali, mano.
O que tem ali?
Olha ali, velho. Mano, olha aquilo, mano. É mentira. Ô, João, olha aquilo lá, velho. É mentira. Ô, João, olha aquilo lá, velho.
Ah, mentira.
Ô, João, pega aqui a coisa aqui. Espera eu, mano. Espera eu, velho. Nossa, mano. Nossa, mano. Nossa, velho. Ai, meu coração, mano. Vamos ligar pra polícia?
Vamos.
Ai, meu Deus do céu, mano. Nossa, velho. Ô, nós achou um corpo no bagulho, tio. Nós achou um corpo, mano. Mano, eu tô...
Luca do céu.
Nossa, velho. Eu tô passando mal, mano. Eu tô passando mal, velho. Tô passando mal. Tô passando mal, mano. Tô passando mal, tio. Mano, puta. Nossa, tô passando mal, velho. Pô, eu tô passando muito mal, mano. Meu Deus do céu, velho. O corpo tá em decomposição, cuzão.
Como que ninguém viu, ninguém sentiu cheiro, nada?
Nossa, mano. Olha meu coração, viado. Ô, ele tá deitado em cima da cama, tiozão. Eu vi o corpo certinho, viado. Nossa, mano. Eu vou ligar, mano. Eu vou ligar, mas deixa eu me recompor. Mas o que que eu falo, mano?
Hã?
Como é que eu vou ligar pra polícia? O que que eu vou falar?
Fala que a gente veio no restaurante, foi ver um restaurante antigo, abandonado. A gente acabou achando um corpo dentro.
Não, um corpo, mano, no bagulho, tio. Oxe, você viu também? Você viu?
Eu vi.
Mano, na hora que eu vi a sandália, eu falei, mentira que tem uma pessoa sentada. Eu falei, licença. Abri a porta assim, é um corpo, viado, deitado, ele tá com a mão na barriga assim, ó.
Tava passando mal, mano. É homem, né?
É homem. E pelo jeito é idoso, viado. E eu vi certinho os ossos na mão, tá bem decomposto assim, mano. Acharam.
E o cheiro, olha lá.
Vão entrar. Velho, não tem o que falar, né? Agora é só esperar o que eles vão fazer pra ver. Mano, faz mó cota que nós tá aqui esperando, faz mais umas 2 horas já, por aí. Ô, era 10 e pouquinho nós tava aqui, né? Agora é quase 2 horas da tarde, faz muito tempo que nós tá aqui. E acabou de chegar o carro da perícia, mano. Já chegou até outra viatura aqui, ó. Mas ó, o carro da perícia tá parando aqui atrás, vamos ver. Chegou essa viatura, chegou ali a perícia científica, tem aquela viatura grandona, a que tava aqui já saiu, que é a... Os dois policial que pegou o nosso nome.
Será que é aqui? Ah, não é aqui não.
Os dois policial que chegou já, que pegou nosso nome já foi embora. E agora vamos fazer a retirada.
Tá vindo fechando. Não era?
Lucau's follow-up video feels heavy, like someone who's seen too much. His voice shakes as he responds to skeptics, saying, something like this would have cost a fortune, and the evidence speaks for itself. Real police sirens cut through the quiet forest, and forensic teams search the scene of real horror. Scattered clothes and a makeshift tarp door show the last shelter someone had. Did a life just end naturally here, or did something much darker happen in those abandoned halls? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.